Sup nerds, I'm Aaron,
I'm Tom.
and we are playing Naga Raja by Hurricane Games.
You're Naga, believe it.
Naga Raja is a two-player, head-to-head race to find the crown jewels kind of game. It's a very cutthroat game where we're drafting tiles and trying to fill in our little temple to actually find these jewels and these scepters and all kinds of crazy stuff.
We're not really drafting them. We're more like we're fighting over them.
Yeah. They come up.
Yeah, they come up one at a time and we see who gets it. But we have like a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we play cards. The cards are multi-use. Mm-hmm. They're the Nagas on the front. Or they're the Nagas are...
That's on the dice.
Yeah, that's on the dice. They're fate sticks on the top. And then their abilities on the bottom. And the thing is that... Well, okay, hang on. So you pitch cards to get dice. You roll dice, and whoever has the higher total wins. But if you get the snaky doos, you can spend them to play cards that could augment the dice of who wins or whatever. Whoever wins gets to place the tile on the board, trying to hit all these little jewel things and find points. And there you go. But the point is, the cards are probably the crux of the game, actually. Even though there's dice and tiles, the cards are like the most important. But absolutely. Every card is good. Every card is almost like awesome.
It either gives you a ton of dice that you can use for like trying to get the Nagas to help you spend cards, or it has a super amazing ability that you're like, well, if I use this other card, I won't get enough Nagas to actually spend these two cards that I want to spend for their abilities.
I want to say like everything is awesome. Yeah. So like all the cards are good, but all of these are good because the brown ones have a bunch of pips, no Nagas. The white ones have a decent amount of pips and a Naga, and then the green ones are like, oh, there's just like one pip, but 50% Naga. Yeah. Like, and all the tiles, like they're almost all, there's an awful lot of crosshairs. Even the ones that aren't crosshairs, a lot of them have these little tokens on them that can give you bonuses. Like, everything in the game is good. Like, you want to win it all. You want to play it all,
Well, everything's good for you, per se. Like, you can play a card to mess with other players' stuff, too, which is it's very take that. You're like, okay, well, you just rolled an amazing roll. You got a ton of pips, so you're gonna win. But I rolled a bunch of these Nagas, and I'm gonna spend one to make you discard one card randomly from your hand,
or
I'm gonna spend one to look at your tiles. Because there's like one, it'll have like arrows pointing to who you can affect, and some of them say like look at their tiles or your tiles. So you're like, okay, I'm gonna look at this tile. Okay, so now I know if I ever get the one where I can move your tiles around, I might open that one up if I know that it's one of the high-scoring sixes. Because if you ever get all three of the sixes, that's actually like a bad omen or whatever. Like
you lose immediately. They're cursed items, which is why they're so valuable. Yeah. But because the we didn't even say the game and trigger was the first to 25 points. I mean, I think there's also the first person to flip up their whole board, because in theory you could these tokens only flip up if the path leads back to your entrances in the front. And actually, one of my buddies played a card on me that he moved my tiles, and he made it so that every single entrance, all three of my entrances, went to dead ends. So everything flipped face down. Yeah. So even if that's true, and like, okay, so now I had to just dig for another card that would flip it back over. But even if I did that, if I just kept winning things and I just filled up my whole board, I could still
trigger endgame.
Yeah, I don't know if I
might not win.
I don't know if I win.
Depends on the points.
Yeah. Well, I would have 0.
Yeah, in that instance, but you could fill up the entire thing and have like 2 of them flipped over and have 10 points, and hopefully they have nothing because you won so many tiles.
Right.
And they can't take away any of these tokens you've revealed. So if you reveal some of these have points, once you revealed them, they stay with you.
Yeah, and then even if they remove the tiles, those things are still yours. Especially because like you can't remember which one was where, type of thing. If you had to put it back. But like, seriously, this game was not on my radar at all. I heard about it. I was like, whatever. It looks very tile placement, rolling dice, whatever. It's not that big a deal. But the tile placement aspect is almost secondary. It's mostly card play.
Yeah, it feels like a head-to-head, like Magic or something, but it's different because you're fighting over a tile that you're going to put on your board. But it's just like, okay, you played that card, I'm going to play this card. And then, like, you're spending your Nagas back and forth. So I spend one, you spend one. I spend one, you spend one. We're like, okay.
And only if we pass in succession does the round end. So you could just say pass, just because I want to see you play your hand first, and then I'll respond to it.
Yeah.
And hey, I'm already winning the roll, so if you say pass, so you don't play anything either, who cares? I win.
Yeah.
And it also feels super balanced because even when you lose, you get the first player token, so you're going to go first next round, and...
you get first pick of the cards, so you draw 3 cards.
And you get more cards. You draw 3, you keep 2, give 1 to the other player. So you're in control of what they're getting, and you get more cards, and cards are the name of the game. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't have anything negative to say about this game. I really don't.
The one negative thing that I was going to say when I came into it was like, what are these ugly dice? But once you roll them, you're like, this is way better than having a normal 4-sided die.
Right.
Where, like, it's the triangle. Like, yeah, these ends you don't use... But, like, it would be highly impossible to...
No, it's not. I've seen it. With the green ones, yeah, it has landed
on the
like
end.
that. But very, very rare will that happen, and then you just pick it up and roll it again. And you could kind of all line them all up and roll them... Like, oh, that didn't really work. But, you know, I guess if they're all the same size, you could do that. But, yeah, those are... And they feel really good. They're kind of, like, heavy. The way they clank, you hear that?
It's like... It almost feels like a plasticky marble. I don't know what it is. It's
it feels
something. It
feels
nice.
like
It's got a good grip to it.
It feels like powder coated.
Yeah.
There's so much good about this game.
It plays really quickly too. It says 30 minutes on the box. That's about right. Like that's if you're really getting into it. Like head to head.
If you know it really well, we could play in like 15 or 20.
Oh yeah, it just comes down to selecting those cards, because when you're selecting your cards to play, you have to kind of match some icons on it. You can only play cards that have the same type of icons. So there's cards that affect tiles, cards that affect
cards that affect
the side tiles. So I keep calling them all tiles, but
yeah, cards that affect the square tiles, and cards that affect the little points tiles, cards that have dice on them because they can affect the pips. So yeah, you can't just plop your whole hand down if you really, really want a tile. You have to be able to
spend...
Yeah, you have to have like pairs, so to speak.
Yeah, or 3 of a kind.
Or triples or quads or whatever. Right, yeah, it's really fast. I've never seen one player get like crushed. It really does come down to the wire most games of like, ooh, we're both pretty close to getting to 25.
Who's going to flip their next tile that gives them that 4 or 5 points to put them over the edge?
Yeah, and there's a really nice insert here. Everything fit, even the cards fit in sleeve. They're a little tight when they're sleeved, but I mean, you know.
They fit.
They fit.
And it's a custom insert. The one thing I did notice when you open this box back up, it kind of everything gets shifted around, so you might want to bandage up.
Yeah, put a rubber band or one of those box bandits, whatever. Unless you don't store your games vertically. Like, this is the only reason why stuff would get shuffled around, but otherwise...
Highly recommend this game. If you like 2-player games, you like a little bit of dice chucking, a little bit of card play, a little bit of take that, like, this is what that game is. That is what this game is.
There we go.
This is what that game is, but that is what this game is. It's a lot of fun. It's very strategic. It's not just, like, completely randomness, because you definitely got to spend the cards at the right time and hope that the dice roll in your favor, but you can definitely manipulate them with the cards that you have.
It does feel like there's a lot of random elements because it's card draw, because it's dice rolling, and because the tiles come out randomly, and yet you still never feel like you lost because, I just didn't draw the right thing. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, it definitely feels like, I should have just played one more card, or I should have... You can spend some of these things you get, you can, like, use them to discard cards, or draw more cards.
These little tokens you can use to block somebody else's moves. So you'd be like, I don't know, is that a big enough move that I need to block it? I really, honestly, I can't recommend this game enough. The only negative is it's only 2 players, but... I mean, it has to be.
Yeah, it couldn't work any other way. We highly recommend it. We'll have a link in the description box down below where you can get yourself a copy.
While you're down there, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you'll never be bored. When you realize you're going to lose the game, you're like, I'm not going to make it.
Raja problem, dude.
Yeah. What's up, nerds? We're Naga and we're Raja. I'm Naga. I'm Raja. Hi.